Hi, it's been a while since I did a channel, um, did a talk. I've been really getting into studying genetics, microbiology, listening to guys from Stanford like Sapolsky, I think his name is, all these different ones, and just looking at all the different evidences and what are these evolutionists, um, molecular biologists saying, and all this sort of stuff. And you know what I found? They haven't got anything, eh? They sound so intelligent and so wise, and you listen to them. But when you weigh up the actual evidence, what have they got? For evolution, zero evidence. Zero. Every single time. Evidence is, the things they put out as evidence is like a smoke screen to make people believe in evolution. But under scrutiny, it is just rubbish. It's always rubbish. Let's have a look at it. Think about evolution for a second, and let's go through some of its rubbish that it promotes as scientific. Okay, apparently a singularity, okay, a singularity occurred. Singularity, they're saying all the mass of the whole universe was in this singularity, which is like micro small, so small you can't even see it. Okay, it's like less than a pinprick size. And there's a quantum fluctuation. Now, they don't know what caused the quantum fluctuation, they don't know anything like that. But anyway, there's a singularity. Where did the singularity come from? Magic. See, they have to science. It's not science anymore, it's magic. Okay? So they don't believe in God, no, heaven forbid, but we'll believe in the singularity that holds all the mass of the universe in it. Holy shit. That is a lot of faith in something that has absolutely zero scientific evidence for it. And then there's a quantum fluctuation. What occurred, what made it occur, where did it come from? They're saying parallel universes. My goodness, they can't even get it sorted on Earth and in this universe, and they're now talking about parallel universes answers the reason why there's a fluctuation, quantum fluctuation. Anyway, apparently, so let's go with this science. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Science, so-called factual science. A singularity, fluctuation, yeah, it all explodes, all goes out, forms all these galaxies, universes. Unfortunately, they can't actually prove any of it. And yeah, these vast, amazing amounts of ages have all happened. Now, okay, then you've got the Bible written that has prophecy, and it's 100% accurate. It's shown, it's been time and time again over the thousands of years proven to be correct. Okay, and it says no, there is a creator, and bang, he made it. Okay, so which one are you going to believe? A singularity holds all the... Look, in our galaxy alone, there's billions of stars. Okay, now they've found billions of galaxies. Think about it. Billions of stars in just one, and they found billions of galaxies. Okay, now they're saying a singularity, it's so small you can't see it, it's invisible, it's so tiny, held all that stuff together. Where the hell did all the mass and all that come from in the first place into the singularity, and what caused it to blow up? Now, they do know of spontaneous combustion from bat dung, so maybe a giant space bat, pooed and it blew it up. You know, it's just all so absolute rubbish. It's amazing. Yet, it's taught in science. It's taught in universities. It's taught in high school. It's just crap beyond belief. Might as well just say an alien from another universe, um, did it. But if you're going to do that, then go back to the Bible, because it's just the same thing. It's just so funny. Okay, so anyway, what have Christians got going for them? Rational sense, Things don't... Order does not come out of chaos. We know that. You don't get galaxies rotating in one direction and then other galaxies rotating in opposite directions from an explosion. Try blowing something up and seeing if things start rotating in opposite directions. That's just not good science. Okay. So anyway, there's a lot of belief here. Evolutionists have to have basically more faith than a Christian at this point. Okay. So that's singularity. Let's just go with that. So it all blows up, blah, blah, blah. Now they get to planetary evolution. That's stellar evolution. So it's just garbage. And what's the big, how do they say, oh, long ages in the thing? How do they work that out? Long ages? They're saying, oh, the distance from the light to get here. Now, time dilation theory. Okay, let's think about it. If we believe the Bible and we say, nah, the actual universe and everything was created by God, and you say, how can it be possible? The world, universe's physics proves it, science proves that the universe is old. How? 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 Well, there's microwave background radiation. Okay, and that proves the universe isn't static, which a lot of people used to think it was, static and all that. Didn't change. It was. So yeah, the Big Bang comes along. Yes, this gets rid of the background radiation problem. But the thing is, time dilation theory, it says that velocity affects time. Einstein, and that gravity affects time. Now, it's provable. You can get atomic clocks, put them in the way up in the mountains and at sea level, and they're going to go at different rates because gravity slows down time. It's called time dilation. So, if that's true, and the mass of the universe is there, then on the outside mass, away from the mass of the universe, time is going to be going far more rapidly than at the center of the mass of the universe because of gravity. Okay, so if Hubble discovered when he looked for his telescope, he had a real problem because he's an evolutionist, and he discovers that he saw the effect of the shift, the red shift, when he was looking at different galaxies. And he's going, oh, there's red shift every direction we look at through my telescope. The galaxies are all moving away. It's red shifting away from us. How come there's not blue? It's not blue shifting. How come that none of the galaxies are heading towards us, which you would expect, okay, from him? Because what are they? The Big Bang Theory, it relies that there is no center of the universe. Which, think about it, no center of the universe, but there's a big explosion going outwards. Okay, so it is a seriously weird concept when you think, nah, we don't believe in a center, but we do believe in an explosion from somewhere. What? Doesn't that require a center at some point? The center where it exploded from? Just putting it out there. Anyway, they don't believe in a center. Oh no, heaven forbid. And they don't believe in a boundary, that there's an edge to it. They think that anywhere you go in the universe, it's going to look the same, no matter where you are. Okay? Which is quite odd, eh? But anyway, we believe the Bible, and it says that the heavens are going to roll up like a scroll, and it's going to burn with fervent elements, going to burn with fervent heat. And the Bible's never been wrong about anything, okay? It's had prophecies for thousands of years, always been 100% perfect. So, do I trust science that changes its theories every decade? Junk DNA, apparently amazing evidence for evolution and microbiology. Gone. They'd only found about 3%, they said, of our human genome in our DNA. 3% use for making proteins, and that everything else was just junk DNA, leftover evidence of evolutionary DNA genes that evolutionary wasn't used anymore. Well, yeah, okay, so that was evidence for evolution for years and years in DNA. Then a lot of scientists in 2005 all the way up to 2012 have been discovering, saying, actually, we thought there was only 3% and 97% was junk. Now we have found 93% of it isn't junk. All that stuff we used to think was junk is actually not junk. And everything we knew about DNA, we were wrong completely. We thought we mapped the human genome and all the coding and here's how you make the proteins, and we thought DNA was just like a string where you put things on a string and it adds to it. But what we found is that whole theory of DNA, the whole thing about transcribing down one side, all that from the 3' to the 5' in one direction, antisense and all that, they found it's all wrong. Completely DNA is completely doesn't work the way that they've been teaching it for years and years. What have they actually discovered in the last 5 to 7 years? They've discovered that a gene just in the genome can be read in both directions, and parts of it read, and then other parts of genes from other parts, even not in the same chromosome area, can be put together and make different proteins. So read in different directions, parts of it mixed with other parts. They've realized that along the DNA thing, the genes can actually be coded not just in threes, codons, to make a protein. They can be jumping one every 5 to make up proteins. So it's like there's proteins and proteins, there's codes within codes. It is elaborately more, it's it's and exponentially more complicated than they thought it was. It shows it's far, far more designed and complicated than simple, easy to create by random chance and no design needed. Okay, so evidence for creation, big time, big time. No information we know of on planet Earth has been formed by random chance. It takes intelligence to create a code. That's what SETI is based on. It's looking for intelligent communications from outer space. Okay, but we have it in DNA. It proves it. You don't have to look out at outer space for an intelligent coding system. One exists in everyone's cells in the nuclei. Okay, get all the nucleus. The the message of outer space is in our cells. There is intelligence. Okay, and he designed us. It shows us. Okay, so what are all people going to fall back on? Look, my theory is that people are going to realize, oh my God, there's no way spontaneous generation of non-matter to life can occur in a simple cell. You cannot create all the machinery. You can't even create the cell wall, let alone any of the they might be able to, the Miller experiment, they make some amino acids, but the amino acids don't do jack, and they have it's like me being the distance of the sun, light years away from being close to life. Life in a simple cell is not simple. A cell is more complicated than a city in complexity. And we know a city can't just form all its pipes and electricity and all its different complexes and all that by accident. Cells have, the walls themselves have an intelligence where they can make pathways to direct transportation. And they just create the path for the little transporters to walk along, to direct them, to go back and forth, and then they'll deconstruct the path and make another path. They'll have like jetpack messages through there. There is so much transportation and regulation going on in a cell. It is mind-boggling complexity. And none of it can happen all by itself. So, you hear creationists going on about irreducible complexity, but the whole cell is irreducibly complex. You can't have a DNA floating in a pond scum somewhere for like billions of years, waiting for the cell wall to the proteins to be somehow supernaturally created to form around it, and then somehow for the RNA, the ribosomes, to all supernaturally then wait another billion years for them actually to occur and create. So a working cell hasn't just got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got so many machinery and parts that have to actually be working together to actually be able to do anything. Like people go, oh, bacterial cell, yeah, that's how it could happen. A bacterial cell is not simple. Like there is no simplicity in a cell structure at all. For it to go from non-matter to a cell is just more complicated than building like a car. Okay, so it just doesn't happen. Okay, you just don't put the parts out in the road and then you come in the morning, oh, they all assembled themselves. It just doesn't work. Okay, it's beyond lunacy that it's impossible. Scientists, with all their knowledge, skill, understanding, cannot do it in the lab themselves. They can't do it. So how on earth why anyone would believe it could happen naturally somewhere. You know, evolutionists only believe evolution because they don't want to believe in God. That's it. Bar nothing. That is the ultimate it. Evolutionists will hold on to a belief that is completely contrary to common sense, scientific evidence, rational arguments, because they do not want to believe in God, so they would rather believe in anything apart from that. And in fact, I think they've been dumbed down because of it. I honestly believe their intellect, their understanding, everything has been just numbed because they are so absolutely living with blinders on. It's crazy. Okay. Yeah. It's easy to see evidence. Now the thing is, I'm lucky. I've had encounters with angels. I've had spiritual experiences, so I know categorically there is spiritual things. It's not just a materialistic, naturalistic world. There is actual, real spiritual things going on. There is a God. I've had communication with Him. So I've had answers to prayers, had spoken things, seeing things, visions, all sorts of stuff, miracles, all sorts of stuff. So I've got literally thousands of spiritual experiences, and I know categorically. Okay, I spent years studying the Bible, blah blah, and I had atheists. I had when I was at university, I had a homosexual, the head of the homosexual group, trying to debate with me when he found out I was a Christian. You know, he came to try and disprove the Bible to me, and literally for we debated literally for years, and in the end he converted to become a Christian. I found out. Okay, so he threw stacks and stacks of evidence, contradictories, Bible problems, blah blah, and they were so damn easy to undo. It's like, to be honest, he didn't want to believe the Bible because of his homosexuality. That was it. Okay? Evolutionists are the same. Evolutionists don't want to believe in a God. So they'd rather believe in anything apart from that. Darwin wasn't a brilliant scientist. He wasn't even a scientist. He didn't even have a degree in biology or anything. Okay? So his book, Origin of the Species, didn't take off because of his amazing scientific knowledge or even scientific principles. It took off because of the ideology. It took off because Darwin came up with a way of escape for people not to try and believe in God. They started trying to say, we can explain everything naturally. Now, science took a bit of a U-turn, and I think it's actually the progress of the scientific world, and the world has suffered because of evolution. I believe resources, time, money, and energy has been spent on something that is false. Okay, and breakthroughs in scientific advancements have actually been hindered over the 200 years, last 200 years, because of all that. The Bible again. If you have a question, you take away the actual answer to the question, and all you are left with now is to come up with other ways to have answers to that question. None of them can be correct if the true answer has been taken away. That's what science tried to do. It said, we're not going to now accept anything spiritual as an answer in science. So the meaning of life, where do we come from, all these, we're going to try and answer with naturalistic answers, scientifically. The problem is, if the answer actually was from spiritual, like God created, then you've taken away the answer to the question. Why are we here? God created us, the universe, how to get here, all the things. If the answers are actually spiritual and you're now scientific, you have to come up with these naturalistic ways to try and explain something that didn't happen that way. You're only going to get wrong answers. And that is what has been happening. Wrong answers after wrong answers. Look, the transitional fossil record, the fossil record doesn't have it. There's no fossils. There's no transitional states. The Cambrian explosion. They look at the Cambrian layer and they see all these fully formed organisms like trilobites and all these jellyfish, and they're going, oh my goodness, there's no precursors to them. There's no, oh, there's little, no step up. There's no evolutionary progression there. They just the Cambrian explosion, it's called. Now, I don't believe the rock layers at all are old at all. I think all the rock layers, the Cambrian included, everything was just all that except for the granite layer. I think is foundation stone, but all the sedimentary layers, and some of them sedimentary layers cover the entire world, like right round, the same layer. Okay, I believe they were all laid down by the global flood, and the buried fossils are just remains of buried animals of the flood. There it is, simple as that. No ages in the rocks at all. Now, if that's the case, there is a global flood. 71% of the Earth is covered in water. Hello, 71% of the Earth is covered in water. If you get the basins of the sea basins and you raise them up and you have a flat, it's about 2.6 k's of water would be covering the entire planet. Okay, now if them sea basins are compressed, the continents are compressed, and then all the water starts flowing into these sea basins, which is what we've got now, you're going to have all the sedimentary lava layers covering and sorting and animals buried over the entire planet, and that's what we've got. Okay, you're going to have all these continental shifts and big massive collisions and things happening really quickly. An ice age will form straight after it because of the heat and the release of the water. So it all is answered biblically, easily. Fits the model, fits perfectly with what we see, what we've got. Now evolution has what? They have to have the planet. It has to somehow evolve. Atmosphere has to somehow evolve. Life has to somehow evolve. They've got no answers to anything. They've got no answers for all of any of that stuff. Okay? Only the Christian worldview can answer these things quite easily with not really any stress. Okay, what about the ages? Where does evolution get its long ages? The rock layers. It says, oh, these are really old, and these fossils at the bottom are older, but nowhere on the planet is the strata layer in order of a textbook. The fossils are found in all different layers, not just the same layer they're supposed to be. They find mice in the dinosaur layer. Now they have had to change and say we evolved from mice. Okay, they find the problem is they've found dinosaur bones recently with the blood and all that in it. So that means that dinosaurs aren't old like they've been telling us. Okay, the evidence is clearly against it. But they're holding on to their worldview because they do not want to believe in a creator God. That's it.